Philosopher and the Transurfing Curious. Hey, where's my crown, guys? My name's Renee Garcia, and this is TransurfingTV. And today on TransurfingTV, communicating with the alternative space, this is kind of like listening to the rustle of the morning stars, or trusting that your world has the ways, knows the ways in which you can achieve your goal better than your human mind can conceive. Vadim Zeland talks about this in Reality Transurfing steps 1 through 5 frequently. This idea that when we are working with inner intention, when we are trying to do something from our mind, we are limited. We have less access to higher and better information. We don't generate ideas with our mind. They all come from the alternative space. And when you can acknowledge exactly when you are doing this thing, trying to work out an equation or solve a problem or seek solution or take a challenge on that is dynamic and you've got to think on the fly, I think this is where a lot of people get discouraged with problems, challenges, progress to the goal. This inability to understand exactly when you are overworking the mind and not releasing yourself to the alternative space, to the flow of information, to the field of variance that has absolutely everything we need in order to do whatever it is we are looking to do. Solve the problem, come up with the idea, all these different things that we attempt to do as human beings to gain progress and momentum in our realities. So I am going to talk to you today about something that I've done lately that has been extremely powerful. And it's one of those things, when I do it, I'm like, oh my God, Renee, why don't you do this more often? This is so much easier. It's so much better. You always come up with so much more information and material and stuff that you can use in your daily reality that's going to actually help you achieve what it is you're looking to achieve. And this is really going to be about letting go and using certain moments in your day or at night, as I do, to access exactly what it is you need starting today to help you facilitate some forward and upward movement to some higher lifelines. Before I get started, remember to like this video and subscribe and comment below, and join us on the Facebook group, the International Transurfing Institute Facebook group. Follow me on Instagram, reality_transurfing. I'm doing a bunch of little clips and cool little artistic videos and stuff like that, so please follow me there. It'd be greatly appreciated. And the courses, if you are new to the transurfing modality and have curiosity about this modality and what my courses bring, you can definitely see all the details below. Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example, as I often do. This video right now, I came up with this idea last night when I did this. So as those of you that follow me know, I've experienced a lot of change lately. I've moved, I've shifted around, I've had 2 studios now. I've been trying different things like the green screen and different methods in which I could relay this information to you guys watching at home. And I'll admit, there are times where it is highly, highly frustrating. I'll look back on some of my past videos and I'll think, wow, you really had it dialed in. You were in the flow. You didn't have to think about much. You were clear and concise. You knew exactly what you wanted to teach. The aesthetic of the video was solid. You did everything right. And then I'll get into these modes where things don't seem to be going right. I'll take a bunch of different takes of a video, or an entire day of filming I'll just discard because I didn't like it. And yesterday I had sort of reached, I don't want to say a breaking point, but I filmed a bunch of stuff yesterday and then I looked at the video afterwards and I'm like, man, I feel like my message is contrived and I don't feel that I'm at my absolute best. So then what happens is very typical of human behavior, of how human beings operate. I start to do my internal working, trying to work out the problem, seeking solution from within. And it's this seeking solution from within that, in my opinion, is really, really dangerous, because this is the quickest way to become even more frustrated and give up on that path to your goal. Because, again, the knowledge that we have is limited in nature, and we can only make so many moves. We are confined to a very, very small amount of information that we hold internally, whereas the alternative space is vast and limitless in nature and contains all information. So the first step in really switching over from this I know what's up mode to I'm going to stop and release myself to the alternative space and allow myself to be open for the solution to come to me, for my problem to be solved on its own accord, for me to gain the idea. And this is where true success, I think, flourishes the most, is opening yourself up to streaming in the ideas from the alternative space and running with those ideas so you can achieve success with those ideas. So what I did yesterday, I stopped myself, the first step. I see myself, I see my reality. And I see that I'm using inner intention to try to figure this out, make it right, trying to crack the code. And again, danger zone, because I'm already frustrated to the extent that I feel that I need to resolve something. Then I go about trying to use my own mind and my inner intention to seek the resolve. And this is like coming up against a brick wall, really, really hard. If you can't seem to crack the code in that moment, there's a good possibility that you're probably just going to give up. So I stop myself, I see my reality. I'm not going to try to work on this anymore on my own. I'm calling it. And I decided before I went to bed, if I woke up in the middle of the night, which I have a few times since I've moved, everything's sort of stabilizing now and I'm getting used to a new routine and all this newness around me, and I've been waking up in the middle of the night wide awake, and instead of being frustrated with not sleeping or panicking or declaring, oh, I have insomnia and I don't like it, I use this moment as an opportunity to converse with the alternative space and gain some solutions to whatever it is. And I did this last night with a whole array of different questions that I had. And oh my God, what came back to me was absolutely amazing. So I'm going to break it down. You can do this at any time. You can do this in moments where you're doing some kind of task that maybe is monotonous, chopping vegetables or cleaning something, or doing something where you're not having to really use your mind, driving your car, doing something that you're sort of on automatic. Personally, I like to do it when I'm in a restful state. And again, when I wake up in the middle of the night, this is like a perfect opportunity, because not only do I get to use the time wisely, I don't panic about not being able to sleep or, frustrate myself with not being able to sleep. So what I do, I wake up, like literally, I wake up, and then I see myself, I see my reality. This is my moment that I can tap into the alternative space. And I relax my mind for a few moments and I just listen. I don't ask anything at first. I don't try to get some kind of dialogue going. I don't come to this space or to this connection with an intention. I just sort of lay there and try my best to just merge with the alternative space, feel it, feel all that information that surrounds me, and really develop a sense of having access to it. So then I don't force it. I simply ask. And last night I had a number of different questions that I wanted to ask. And also I had some ambiguous questions like, what do I do now? What do I do now? Or what information do you want to give me now? And then obviously the questions of a practical context. How do I improve my game? How do I improve what I'm doing? How do I bring the most effective version of me to my endeavors? So I ask away and I just sort of lay there and let my requests for information flow. And then I absorb the feedback internally. I lay there and I don't try to do anything with the information that's coming in. I don't try to negate it. I don't have an idea that comes in and then I think, oh, I can make this better with my mind, or, oh, what if I put this spin on it? I just sort of let it come in and continue to come in and not let my mind get in the way, if that makes sense, because it's like water flowing. It changes and it moves and the information switches subjects. So I don't want to snag up the flow of information by involving my mind or trying to do something with the information in the moment. I save that for the morning when I actually wake up and get out of bed. So I absorb the feedback internally, and then I allow myself in the morning to work with the information a little bit and figure out how I'm going to plug it in to my day. But at the same time, I have the willingness to follow through with the advice that was given to me during this session, or whatever you want to call it. So the reason that this is pertinent to doing this is because I've actually participated in this a few times without necessarily trying to do so, waking up in the middle of the night and then having these like really incredible insights coming to me. And then I wake up in the morning and I just act as I normally would and kind of like forget about it or not value it at all. Like, oh, that was a good idea, or oh, that was a nice dream, or oh, that was interesting, but I know the way. So, it's a two-step process. It's opening yourself up to the flow of information, and then it's being willing the next day to actually move on it, rather than, again, switching over to the I know mode and getting stuck in your own limited ways and nature and thinking and all of that stuff. So all information comes from this information field. Just open to it is all you need. Just opening up to it is all you really need. So how you can use this to actually improve your reality starting today or tonight or tomorrow. If you don't know what it is you want to ask, like maybe you don't have a challenge right now or something that needs your immediate attention. Maybe you're sort of going with your life. You're not actively searching for anything. You're not embarking on some new endeavor. You're not in the midst of needing to develop some new project. Let's say that you are just in a stable layer of reality, but you are looking to improve your layer of reality. Just ask tonight, if you wake up in the middle of the night before you go to bed, or when you wake up early in the morning, before you move, before you do anything, just ask, what can I do differently starting today? Or what can I do differently starting tomorrow? And follow this stuff and just listen. And I swear to God, something really monumental may come through. It's super powerful. And if you, and like I say here, to gain momentum doing it, if you don't hear anything initially, try it the next night and then try it the next night. So for a few nights I've been doing this, and last night was my most powerful moment with it. I had all sorts of information come into me, and I was probably only awake for about 20 minutes. But I had solutions to a few challenges that I'm experiencing right now come in. I've had information come in that has allowed me to accept certain circumstances. So what that means, without getting too specific because it's very private, I've been having a little bit of resistance to certain circumstances in my reality and go through a little bit of a state of mourning or non-acceptance. And just laying in bed last night asking the alternative space to help me sort of unwork this knot, something came in that it totally just neutralized a lot of these sensations that I'm looking to cycle out of. I woke up this morning feeling like $1 million. Not only did I have some solutions for things that I'm doing, with my different projects and my different endeavors, I had some emotional resolve as well. So you can ask anything. You can ask anything. It can be challenges you're having in relationships, challenges you're having with your own self-esteem or trajectory, or levels of self-love, or something that is going to improve you as an individual. Ask the alternative space to tell you what your next move is. It can be a problem you're having at work, a problem you're having with your family. It's kind of like, I know it's really simple when you boil it down. It's like asking God for help, right? It's asking God for help, but it's doing it in a transurfing way and being open to information coming in that you can then take and use literally the very next day. So do you do this now? And are you open to trying this in maybe the ways in which I have suggested? And yeah, let me know your thoughts, everyone. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, guys.